Baba, does it get recorded also? No. This one? Is it on YouTube? Yeah, I think. No, on our laptop. No.
तुम तो दिल्ली जाने वाले थे ना तैयारी के लिए?
जब यूपीएससी के सारे सुपर टीचर्स खुद मेरे पास आ रहे हैं, दिल्ली को जाना।
इंडिया के सुपर टीचर्स के साथ अब होगी यूपीएससी क्रैक। डाउनलोड करो टेस्ट बुक ऐप।
Well, hello and welcome, my young soldiers, my competition aspirants. This is Inspector VD. Welcome to Testbook.com. My lovely friends, I often say that Sunday is a fun day, but today's Sunday is a motivation day, a superb day because we have a superb personality, a great demagogue, a veteran Air Force officer, Air Commodore retired Surendra Singh Tyagi, Vayu Sena medal. So guys, come on, give him a big round of virtual applause. So, sir, thank you so much on this
Thank you.
platform.
Thank you very much.
Literally, it is literally a dream come true to witness such a great personality. आज का जो ये दिन है सर इतना अच्छा होने वाला है क्योंकि जितने भी हमारे एस्पिरेंट्स हैं जो आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स में जाना चाहते हैं, उनके दिमाग में कुछ उमंग होती है, कुछ उनके क्वेश्चंस होते हैं और मेरे ख्याल से आपसे इंटरेक्शन करने के बाद मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि अब उनके सारे डाउट, सारे सवाल, सारे जवाब दूर हो जाएंगे बिकॉज you have made something impossible to possible because a very sweet, charming chap from Muzaffarnagar and to achieve that much position. What was the journey? Come on, sir, please throw a field of light on your childhood days, then your young, smart days, and then the Air Force days, right? Please, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. First thing, it's a great honor to be with you all. जब मैं कभी भी छोटों से इंटरेक्ट करता हूँ तो मेरी खुद की उम्र 50 साल कम हो जाती है. So I feel so young today and I only hope I don't start behaving like one as I go out. I'm going to Delhi tonight, so I hope I behave myself my age when I reach there. जैसे आपने कहा, I am one of those lucky few ones now who have seen the independence actually taking place. I was born in 1942.
Oh my God!
December. Yes, and so that's long time back. My father was in the army, and with the result, we had to move very often. So when I come to my schooling and college, you'll realize that actually the moving in my life, वो बड़े छुटपन से it started. क्योंकि उनकी भी पोस्टिंग हर 2 साल में हुआ करती थी, 2-3 साल में, तो पूरे हिंदुस्तान में करीब उनके साथ जब से मेरे पैदा होने के बाद में आई वाज विद हिम एंड मूविंग अराउंड ऑल ओवर द कंट्री. मेरा शुरू हुआ देहरादून में 1946 में,
राइट सर,
एंड सेंट जोसेफ्स एकेडमी करके होती थी. उसके बाद में आई स्टडीड इन अ विलेज स्कूल इन छपरौली, चौधरी चरण सिंह गांव.
Oh my God! Yeah, I did my LLB from that village. Chaprol is a college over there, Gayatri College of Education. I recently completed my LLB, sir, from there.
That time, this school was just being built, 1949.
Okay. Sir.
I was one of the first few students they had enrolled, and क्योंकि मेरे चाचा जी दरोगा जी थे, तो I had done second from Dehradun. After doing third, I came there and there was the annual function on. So they asked me to say कि भाई कुछ poem सुनाओ, अंग्रेजी की कुछ बताओ.
Right.
I was from convent, so I recited few poems. They said ये तो बहुत होशियार बच्चा है, इसको 5वीं में डाल दो. I jumped 2 classes, then I was admitted in class fifth the next year. So that's how I was very young for my initial classes. In fact, when I was in 10th in Bombay, my age was only 11 and a half years when I joined the 10th class.
Wow, sir. That's
You can
commendable.
imagine, but then it was unfair on me because my thinking was like a child. So we were staying in our bungalow was in Kulaba, and I used to go for school in Matunga every day from Kulaba Afghan Church to Bombay VT, and from there local train. Sometime आधा half आना used to be our pocket money. तो कई बार वो जो आधा आना बस के फेयर का होता था वो मैं खा जाता था इंग्लिश देख के. तो लौटते टाइम I used to walk from Bombay VT to Afghan Church, which is nearly 6 kilometers. But Pitaji was not bothered. Nobody, because things were so safe. And I used to pick up a small stone or a can, and I used to kick it all the way from there to Afghan church.
Wow, sir. That's
Just to
commendable.
pass time. But those were good days. Of course, things have changed now. Things are more stabilized. After that, from Bombay, I went to Rajgarh in Rajasthan.
Right.
I did from there I came to college in Ahmedabad, and after 1 year I moved to Meerut, where I did my final studies for 3 years, and from there I joined Air Force. So I went around.
NDA, you.
No, I was. Mine was the last of the UPSC Flying College examination,
Oh my God.
because after that Chinese attack, then they called that off, and a lot of other avenues of entry had started. So mine was the last pilot's course, which was conducted by UPSC.
No, I'm not aware of it. See, what a exchange of knowledge that you guys are giving us, literally.
So it is just one of those things. But that's how it happened. And exam bhi maine isliye diya because I was studying in Meerut, and I wanted to go and visit Delhi ke monuments. We had never been there to Delhi. So मैंने कहा exam का center was in Delhi. So I took a फर्स्ट क्लास का टिकट, वो उन दिनों 4 रुपए में आता था मेरठ से दिल्ली का. रिटर्न टिकट जो था वो 6 रुपए में था. तो वो 6 रुपए का टिकट लेके मैं दिल्ली गया. ओल्ड दिल्ली स्टेशन पे ही फर्स्ट क्लास वेटिंग रूम में मैंने वो उसको बोला, भाई देख मेरा तो वापसी का है पर कल शाम को, तो मुझे यहीं रहने दो. उसने कहा ठीक है. तो वो नॉर्मली दोस डेज ओनली द स्पोर्ट्स पीपल यूज्ड टू कैरी दैट एयर बैग एंड नोबडी एल्स. इट लाइक टुडे, olden days it was only the sportsmen. Since I played for UP in 2-3 events. So with the result, I was one of those who always had that bag on hanging. So that bag we kept there, no lock, nothing was required, and just went, appeared for my exam, looked around Jama Masjid, Lal Killa, Purana Killa, ये सब देख दाख के 2 दिन में अगले दिन शाम को I was back. I didn't know that I'll pass. So I passed the written exam. Then of course I went for interview to Mysore, and I got selected there.
So, sir, it is called that everything is preordained. I think you do believe in this thing.
Absolutely true, because in my case it proves it even more. Because in 59 I was selected. I did Army SSB. And NCC had started a new scheme those days. They used to call it Officers Training Unit, OTU.
Okay.
And it was whilst we were in college, we had special classes. So total first year, in that year, the whole country, say we were just about 69 of us. Next year, they were about 270. So, and the annual camp after whole years, did all the training in the college thrice a week. Then annual camp was at Kalsi, or ahead of Dehradun or Chakrata, and their instructors from, it was conducted by camp commandant, used to be a lieutenant colonel, army gentleman, and instructors were all from IMA and NDA.
Right, sir.
And this was 10 weeks course. And then you appeared for B exam, then next year you appeared for C exam, and third year you appeared for D exam. So we used to have a D certificate. And this lasted only for 4 years, because after Chinese attack, then they had emergency commission opened. So they had closed this thing. So I was already selected. I had done both my interviews, and I was waiting for call to IMA. Before that, this thing happened of UPSC exam of Air Force, and Air Force was smarter. They call came before IMA, so that's how I actually became a Air Force cadet. असल में मेरा Air Force से कोई रिलेशन था, पिताजी आर्मी में थे.
Obviously, that is why something different is there. हाँ.
बिल्कुल. So आपने जो डेस्टिनी की बात कही ना, it is just one of those things. अगर मुझे Air Force ऑफिसर नहीं बनना तो जिससे मुझे Air Force के जहाज नहीं पता थे
कोई
कौन से.
मतलब या
I would have, because I was not the army background, army cadet, and it just so happened that call came first. In those days we didn't have कि ये join करूँगा वो join करूँगा, जो मिल जाए वो कर लेंगे.
तो सर आज का जो ये सेशन जो है, मैं मतलब काफी मेरे हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो बड़े ईगरली वेट कर रहे हैं. हम इनको सीडीएस के लिए, एफ कैट का जो एग्जामिनेशन है उसके लिए, एनडीए के लिए हम लोग इनको रिटन एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं. सर I do not want to boast of any kind of technicality here. मैं सिर्फ बहुत ही लेमन स्टाइल में आज आपके मीडियम से इन बच्चों के सामने एक बात रखना चाहता हूं. सर हम रिटन एग्जाम इनका क्वालिफाई करवा देते हैं, उसके बाद फिर इनको एक प्रॉब्लम होती है टू क्रैक दी एसएसबी पार्ट, राइट? बिकॉज एवरीबडी वांट्स टू जॉइन दी आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स. और उसके लिए सिर्फ मैं उस एसएसबी की टेक्निकलिटी में भी नहीं जाऊंगा. I just want to talk about two important things: the confidence part, right, and the physical fitness part. ये दो चीजें किसी भी पर्सन के लाइफ में कितना इंपॉर्टेंस रखती हैं. प्लीज गिव अस सम गाइडेंस ताकि हम अपने बच्चों को ये बताएं कि कॉन्फिडेंस जो है जब तक इन बच्चों के अंदर वो नहीं होगा, हाउ कैन दे क्रैक द एसएसबी पार्ट. और उसके बाद एक ऑफिसर अगर बनना है, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने इतनी लाइफ देखी है, हम उनके भी बारे में बात करेंगे जो 1965 वॉर है, 71 वॉर है, लेकिन इन वॉर को लड़ने के लिए, उसके काबिल बनने के लिए क्या इन लोगों को चाहिए, वो प्लीज एक बार आप 2 मिनट लगा के इन बच्चों को बताएं. बहुत वेट कर रहे हैं कि क्या हम लोग कैसे वी कैन इंप्रूव आवर कॉन्फिडेंस, हाउ वी कैन इंप्रूव आवर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, राइट? ये एक पॉइंट सर मैं जानना चाहूंगा आपसे.
बिल्कुल. I can only relate from my experience.
Please.
Basically, there are 2-3 things. That when I went for the SSB, like the first one for the army in Allahabad, that was in 1959, I had no clue. I had neither studied, nobody had guided you. I was part of the joint family.
Right.
Pitaji was on his own. We were staying in Mirage. उन्होंने घर बना के वहाँ पे कोठी बना दी थी. So my mother used to stay with us. No elders, no younger. Nobody had any clue क्या करना है, कैसे करना है. But since I had a sports background, one. Second, I had the army background. So my English speaking, dressing sense, courtesies, basic thing which we had already part of the culture in those days, that Hindustani बड़ों को देखते ही खड़े हो जाते थे, उनको पानी पिलाएंगे, उनका सामान ले जाएंगे, उनको खाना खिलाएंगे. You felt proud. और खाने के अलावा, क्योंकि I belong to village, वो हुक्का भर के सबसे बड़ी जरूरी होता था. खाना खिलाने के बाद में हुक्का भर के उन्हें हुक्का पीने के लिए, जिससे उन्हें और मजा आए तंबाकू के हुक्का पी के. So that was something you took pride. That means you were believing in participation and taking care of the people who came around. That is one of the major factor. Now 2-3 things which I'll say, which I feel, since I have assessed a lot of officers in my life and the other ranks, whilst I was commanding units for a long time, so maybe 20-25 हजार तो करे ही होंगे. So you get certain idea that what do you look into a person to make an assessment. And one of the major things, first thing is that intelligence, when we say. Now if you Einstein, अगर वो एयरफोर्स ज्वाइन करना चाहते, आर्मी ज्वाइन करना चाहते, I don't think he would have made a very good soldier, because he was exceptional class. His mind used to work on everything. He would trying to find इसको ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हैं, वैसे कैसे कर सकते हैं. No, soldiering is, aim has been given. You have been given a command कि ये ऐसे करना है. उसको करने के लिए you don't doubt, क्योंकि जो कमांडिंग ऑफिसर जो आपके हैं, उनसे दूसरे कमांडिंग ऑफिसर शायद ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट हो, ज्यादा अच्छे हो, उनका रास्ता जो है वो बढ़िया हो. पर हमारी सर्विसेज में इसीलिए स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर्स बिकम पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ, दैट एवरीथिंग वी नॉर्मली डू एट द सेम वे. सो एवरीवन हैज बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर, या फाउंडेशन of every commander or every leader is same. Now what makes you a good leader? One, सबसे बड़ी चीज, that you should be confident of yourself, that you will be able to handle कोई भी situation, कितनी ही सीरियस हो, कितनी ही डेंजरस हो, कितनी ही कठिन हो, आप उसका सॉल्यूशन कुछ ना कुछ निकाल लेंगे, because for every problem there is a solution. Because that's why when we go and ask somebody, sir मैं क्या करूं, ये हो रहा है, he says अरे do this, अरे then you think यार इनको ऐसे एकदम से इन्होंने कह दिया, मैंने क्यों नहीं सोचा. That's the thing. So you should always go with the premise that for every problem which is there, however serious it may be, there is a solution, and you should always be confident that this solution can be achieved even by me. That is why. So you should be confident, and it's not the solution that you are a problem solver. It is confidence in your ability to handle every situation. That is factor one.
Statement that guys, Sushant, Namita, and Sachin, and other one is also there. जो भी आप लोगों का कॉन्फिडेंस है, कॉन्फिडेंस आपके डीड्स में, आपके एक्शंस में वो झलकना चाहिए, तब जाके आप लोगों को लगेगा कि यू कैन अचीव दैट एम. तो सर अब बात करते हैं.
No, एक चीज और मैं कहना चाहूंगा before we move to other subjects.
Please.
Because this is important. When you are preparing for any of these competitive examinations, SSBs I'll talk only, what one wants to see there, that are you the correct raw material? आप वो हो जिनको मैं अगर कुछ बताऊंगा, गरम करके पीट के शेप करूंगा तो आप शेप हो जाओगे. That means you are not resistant to everything which is asked of you to perform to become a complete soldier. So that is first thing, that you should be a material which is moldable. Second, you should be, when I talked of Einstein, उसका reason ये था कि you don't have to be very high IQ, not 90%. If you are a 75% or a 60% is very good enough. So don't say that unless I can achieve only the high top bracket, only I'll make it. No, please. We look for average people, and they are molded. They are easy to mold because unke ideas are not set. Their psyche is not gone into a firm state where they say why. They question everything which is asked, and they will never make a good soldier. So there is some kind of innocence required in soldiering. So one thing is this, and for this what you have to do is, when you are projecting, how would I know that how good you are, how moldable you are? Only by when I know the reality about you and that honesty of expression. That means when you go into SSB, when you prepare outside from these institutes and all that, I don't know, maybe what they teach, but when you will come to me, first question I'll ask you, I'll know that you have come after a coaching. Other person, now that means you would be trying to shield certain inherent quality of yours, inbuilt which are in you. And with the result, what will happen is that you will not be able to give the correct picture to the person who's assessing you, and you lose out. So be absolutely honest. Don't worry. Don't think of कल क्या हो रहा है, मेरा आज का जो certain interview is not gone off well, which say GTO का one part, doesn't matter. Because it's not that we don't want 100%. We want 70%, maybe 60%. I don't know. I'm just presuming. Because so that is another thing. Every child, every young person who's going for interview do that. And एक story, छोटी सी 2 line की बता देता हूँ. About 6-7 years back, 2012-13 में, I got certainly motivated to somebody asked me, the friends, ये Facebook पे तभी शुरू हुआ था, तो किसी ने friend request भेजी, तो मेरा belief ये था जिंदगी में कि भाई कोई अगर दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाता है तो you don't say no. So I said yes. It was a young man who had already appeared for interviews 6 times. He sent me a message, sir, I am going for SSB end of this month. So I sent my number. I said, you call me, miss call, so that I have your number. I'll call you back. I called him back. I said, कितने कर दिए? मैंने ये बताओ क्या हुआ उसमें? तो first thing he started with कि नहीं sir, I was so good, मेरे सब चीज अच्छे हुए थे, but the other person was like this and he पता नहीं वो कैसे हो गया. मैं कह, this is the main problem. Don't think about others. Don't think how good he is, and don't think you are the best. No. If you feel that, don't suspect the system. If you start suspecting system, you'll never make it. So first thing, wo bhul jao. Second thing, don't worry how many chances you need to get selected. He said, sir, 1. Make it that you have that 1, na? So now we will speak twice. I'll speak today with you, and I'll speak after 10 days. What I'll guide you, you work on them and just see how naturally you feel. I spoke to him once again, and I wished him when he was going for interview. He got selected. He got selected, and then he put it in he made a SSB group करके ऐसे, and वो सारे उसके यार दोस्त थे, सबको बता दिया कि वो there is so and so, is ऐसे, उनसे सबने friend request भेजी. तो at one time I was in touch with nearly 3,500 children, but then I found I couldn't cope up with that because they wouldn't know where I am, what I am doing. I'm a working guy, so they will call up, and then I said, okay, now I have to ease off. So I am no more in doing that. But the fact that story that you need one chance, so don't worry about कि मैंने 6 में नहीं हुआ हूँ. The one which you have is good enough for you. So be with that kind of confidence that I just need this one and I'll do it.
Yeah, so adaptability, flexibility are the things that you definitely mentioned that we should ponder over on that. The rigidity should not be there. So those young aspirants who are preparing for SSP, just one thing with the medium of sir, I would like to say, you have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible. Do not have that egoistic or self-centric attitude in your mind. That will definitely perish you. Am I right, sir, if I'm not wrong?
Absolutely. And when you want to be a good leader means you have to be accommodating. You should be able to accommodate everybody, good person in your team, bad person in your team. And your motto should be that the person who is the worst, he should become top. That's how I should be able to handle him. And that's what I did all my life. The people who wanted to leave fighters and go to helicopters and transport, I said, do you want to go, or you feel only because you can't handle the fighter? He said, no, sir, we want to be fighter pilot, but I find it strange. Give me 2 sorties. I'll fly only 2 missions with you. And actually I did that. And they made excellent fighter pilot, thereafter carried on and retired in senior ranks. So it's like this, that because my belief was that if my team, any member in my squadron or unit is not being able to achieve certain standard, then it's not his problem. It's my problem. It's my fault. It's my flaw. ये मेरी कमजोरी है कि मैं उसे वहां नहीं ला पाया जहां उसे आना चाहिए था. Sometimes there is potential deficiencies there, which is very rare, but it may be in 2%, 3%, but we find that 30, 40, 20% guys lose out because of improper handling.
Switch over to the one of the famous topics, right, in our history, that is the war of 1965 plus war of 1971. Obviously that 65 is there, so I will be talking about 65 first and then 71. Right. I personally, with my unusual honesty, I would like to say that I am not a history student, please. So please bear with me. But whatever the scenarios that we had witnessed, I happen to be a soldier. I served in BSF for 5+ years. Okay. I was at Pakistan border, Dera Baba Nanak, and then Naxal operations. I served 2.5 years. Right. Some you can say glimpse of the infantry type. You can say I do possess, and where how our team works. Right. Now, sir, my point is the period at that time of Lal Bahadur Shastri ji and Ayub Khan. Would you throw a flood of light on the tensions between the two countries? क्या वो चीजें थी जो एकदम से मतलब पाकिस्तान जो है 47 से ही वो इस तरह से था, या कुछ ऐसी चीजें हुई 1965 में? क्या वो ऐसे मतलब आप लोग तो सर ज्यादा इस बारे में जानते होंगे, तो हमें वो चीजें कुछ ऐसा मतलब would you like to throw a flood of light on those things कि जो एक immediate reason बन गया ये war 65 वॉर के लिए? ये बस बात मैं जानना चाह रहा था सर आपसे.
ओके, कोई भी लड़ाई कभी भी मोमेंटरी पे नहीं होती है. Exactly. उसकी हमेशा एक बैकग्राउंड होता है, लंबा बैकग्राउंड होता है. वो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट काइंड ऑफ हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड द इंसिडेंट हैज. इन आवर केस ये जो हमारी लड़ाई हुई उसमें मेन थिंग वाज बेसिकली 47 से द प्रॉब्लम हैड स्टार्टेड. इट नेवर सेटल्ड. They wanted to annex Kashmir. They were not able to. Fortunately, just in time, we were able to put our forces there. They are holding some part of it, जो हमारा है, और वो जरूर वापस आएगा किसी दिन, जब भी गवर्नमेंट सीरियसली सोचेगी कि ये अब हमारा ही है और हमें लेना है. हमारा कहने से वो हमारा कभी बनेगा नहीं. अगर कोई मेरी चीज है, कभी आप सोच सकते हैं कि आपकी कोई भी चीज कोई पड़ोसी उठा के ले जाए और दिखाए रोज बैल्कनी से कि ये देख मेरे पास है, आप
No,
अगले दिन
not at
जाके
all, not at all.
सिर पे डंडा मार के छीन के लिए आओगे, है ना। पर ये कुछ कारण होते हैं, पॉलिटिकल रीजन आई डोंट वांट टू डिस्कस बिकॉज आई एम नॉट नॉलेजेबल। पर ये इसका बेसिकली प्रॉब्लम हमारी पाकिस्तान से हमेशा चलती रही थी। नंबर 2, पाकिस्तान में क्या था कि देयर पॉलिटिकल टर्मोइल वाज ऑलवेज देयर, दैट्स व्हाई उनमें मार्शल लॉ शुरू हो गया, दे हैड द मिलिट्री रूलर्स। अब वो जब भी कभी उनकी थोड़ी कोई प्रॉब्लम होती थी इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंस्टेबिलिटी, ओनली वे दे कुड थिंक वाज इफ वी एक्टिवेट द बॉर्डर, तो उसकी वजह से वो कम से कम इंटरनल सब लोग साथ हो जाएं, क्योंकि जब बाहर से लड़ाई होती है तो सब लोग हम घर में इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं। एंड दिस वाज वन ऑफ द रीजन which was the background to it. Number 2, after Chinese debacle, Pakistan probably thought that they would be able to, we are weak in a very weak state, and they can probably take away their main interest was only Punch and Chamjoria wala area, basically so that they can have the whole U which is inside them of ours, that they could make a straight line. For them, that was an important area because now what happened, they sit on the high ground and we are always vulnerable. जिस दिन हमने वो ले लिया, हमारा from one end to going to Baramulla will become only few hours. Now it is about 400 kilometers. It will become 120 kilometers. So that is the thing. So they always were aware, and it was, to my mind, was only to create nuisance. That's why they 65 में, अगर आप लोगों को पता नहीं होगा, उन्होंने क्या किए थे, infiltrators drop किए थे. They had sent infiltrators with explosive. Those days borders वगैरह इतने sealed नहीं होते थे, तो कोई भी आना जाना कहीं से भी हो सकता था. So sorry, and they were all dropped around or sent around the air force stations, army units. Means whatever was the military installation, उसके आसपास में with a timeline given to them कि on so and so date आप वहाँ पे hand grenade वगैरह छोड़ के, छोटा damage, no big bombs and rockets and all those kind of thing. Only hand grenades were given to them कि भाई आप थोड़ा करना, जैसे एयरफील्ड पे आपने वो रनवे के उस पे एक अगर आप फेंक सके और वो जहाज पे लग गया तो एक जहाज डैमेज हो जाएगा. I mean that kind of thing. Basically it was that. That's why the rule came that within 900 meters of any army installation, you couldn't build anything. So that if that guy is walking, the observer can actually see him. So that was the reason which now builders lobby is very strong. They can bribe anyone into anything. They have done that to the government, and 2 years back, that rule has been taken away. Now it's been made 100 meters, and which is very, very low. Actually takes away security. As I said, उसके कारण ही जो पठानकोट में अटैक हुआ था, क्योंकि दीवार से बाहर के घर लग के बन गए हैं. हाउ डू आई चेक कि कौन कहां से है, किसकी दीवार पे से घर में आके कौन कूद जाएगा? यू कांट प्रोटेक्ट. सो द सिक्योरिटी हैज बीन कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड बाय कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग ऑन द बेसिक एथिक्स ऑफ सेफ्टी, एंड ये हमारा अनफॉर्चुनेट थिंग. सो द 65 में ये पहली बार सामने आया था कि वो इन्फिल्ट्रेटर आके डैमेज करेंगे वो नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बींग्स, and then they will attack, and then army will move wherever they have to. But we were not really as prepared, though the warning was there. अप्रैल में वो मॉनिटर हो गए थे, उनके टैंक कच्छ में घूम रहे थे, पर उसके बाद भी हम लोगों ने सीरियसली नहीं लिया. और इसीलिए जब लड़ाई हुई फर्स्ट डे, all our aircraft were on runway, and we lost 28 aircraft first day on ground.
Oh my God!
Parked on the airfields.
How did that happen, sir? How did that happen?
Mainly, unfortunately. So we were, because we thought कि कोई लड़ाई नहीं होगी, हो नहीं सकती, नहीं करेंगे. We are so true Indians are, that's our weakness, and that weakness is believing. We trust. We are too trusting.
We are emotional. Bharat, bhav, emotional. We are very emotional.
Very emotional, very trusting. कोई भी हमारे साथ कुछ करेगा, वो जेब भी काट लेगा तो उसको पकड़ के, अबे उल्लू क्यों तू कर रहा है, तेरे को कितने रुपए चाहिए, 2 रुपए ले, तू क्यों कर रहा है ऐसे. I mean we are like that. Anyway, so 65 war was like that. The warning came, but it was not so much a warning, though army had made the movements, and we were there. Just to tell you a thing, I was posted at Karaikunda in east, next to Kharagpur. Suddenly at 11 o'clock on 4th September 1965, siren baja. So we all ran and went sat down in the trenches. I was a young pilot officer, 8 months commission. Those days एक रैंक होता था पायलट ऑफिसर पहले, 1 साल के बाद में हम लोग पायलट वो जो फ्लाइंग ऑफिसर बनते थे. आजकल तो यू पास आउट एज फ्लाइंग ऑफिसर. सो मैं हम लोग सब टेंथ में घुसे हुए थे. तो एक जो उन दोनों सिविलियन होते थे जो एनसी होते हैं, तो ही केम, उसने कहा सर फ्लाइट कमांडर साहब ने आपको बुलाया. तो आई वेंट देयर, इट वाज अबाउट 11:20 और सो. ही सेड क्विकली गो. हम लोग टेंट्स में रहा करते थे. ही सेड पैक एंड एयरक्राफ्ट इज कमिंग, यू आर गोइंग. ओके. सो आई वेंट, पैक्ड अ होल डोल होते थे हम पे उन दिनों, हमारे पुराने वो बेड रोल जिन्हें कहते थे. तो बेड रोल में जाके करा, एक किट बैग में कुछ यूनिफॉर्म एंड ओवरऑल पहन के वो उसमें डाले, 2 सेट 3 सेट, एक शर्ट एक पैंट, और वो लेके दोनों चीज में आके खड़ा हो गया टामे पे. 12:30 बजे के करीब एक डकोटा आया बैरकपुर से, पिक मी अप. हम लोग वहां से टेक ऑफ किए, फिर कानपुर में रिफ्यूल करा. बाय द टाइम डकोटा की स्पीड होती थी 140-130 माइल्स. तो हम लोग जब दिल्ली पहुंचे तो शाम हो गई थी. तो उन्होंने कहा सुबह ही सुबह 6 o'clock देयर इज अ टेक ऑफ. सो आई सेड अभी मेरे पे 6-7 घंटे हैं, चलो मैं मेरठ चक्कर लगा देता हूँ. तो मैं पालम उन दिनों पूरा जहाँ पे आजकल टर्मिनल्स हैं वो सब हमारे मेस होते थे, ऑफिसर्स मेस था. जो टर्मिनल 1 वगैरह है वो पूरा तो होल एरिया वाज एयरफोर्स. देयर वर सिविल फ्लाइट्स वर वेरी वेरी फ्यू. सो मैं उधर से बाहर निकला, रोड पे गया, नैरो रोड, एक ट्रक मिला, ट्रक में लिफ्ट लेके यहाँ जा वहां जा करते रात को 12 बजे मैं घर पहुंचा. तो बड़े खुश हुए, क्या ये वो. मैंने कहा भी निकल रहे हैं हम लोग, लड़ाई पे जा रहे हैं. तो अच्छा वो लड़ाई कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैं कहे तो पता नहीं पर जा रहे हैं. एनीवे तो सुबह 5 बजे पिताजी ने कार में बैठाया, he dropped me back. I went there again. Now this time they put us in a packet. Packet was flying very low. Suddenly पेड़ दिख रहे थे, छोटी छोटी गोल खिड़कियां जो होती हैं ट्रांसपोर्ट की. तो मैंने कहा इतना लो क्यों फ्लाई कर रहे हैं वो. एनीवे बड़ी लो. तो अभी आज मैंने कहा इतना नीचे क्यों जा रहे हैं. उसने कहा नहीं, जिससे कि रेडार नहीं पिकअप करे. So they didn't want the Pakistani radar to pick up our, which was of course in our own territory, so it didn't make, but that's how it started. So we landed at Pathankot. जब got out of the aircraft, then पता लगा पठानकोट आ गए. तो वहां पे एक ग्रुप कैप्टन बैनर्जी थे, एक कमांडर बसीन थे जो बाद में वाइस चीफ बने, एयर मार्शल बसीन करके, जॉनी बसीन कहते थे उन्हें. तो दे रिसीव्ड अस एंड 2-4 हम और चक्के जितने जहां से भी आए थे वहां दिल्ली से एसी जहाज में इकट्ठे हो गए थे. तो उन्हें बैठा के उसने कहा ओके यू आर अटैच्ड टू आर्मी एंड वी आर गोइंग टू जम्मू. सो एक 1 टनर में बैठा के पीछे पैक, वो पूरी और आलू न्यूज़पेपर में लिपटी हुई. हमें बड़ी भूख थी, बड़ा मजा आया. वो 8-8 10-10 होंगी पर वो बहुत कम पड़ गई उस समय, भूखी हुई थी. तो एनीवे वी रीच जम्मू 2-2.5 घंटे बाद. जम्मू में कालूचक एक जगह है जम्मू से पहले, वहां पे कोर हेडक्वार्टर था. वहां पे they were waiting and they immediately allotted us कि you are with this brigade, you are this brigade. So I was allotted to 69 Mountain Brigade. So my GL officer, कैप्टन थे वो, उन्होंने खन्ना, उन्होंने रिसीव करा, जीप में बैठाया और ले गए जहाँ पे पलटन. तो जब वहां पहुंचे तो ऑलरेडी 8-8:30 बज गए थे. वो रूम में दे दिया तो उसमें हमने हॉल डॉल और वो सब डाल दिया, सिर्फ वो किट बैग थोड़ा डाल दिया जिसमें 2-3 कपड़े थे, ओवरऑल और ये और एक यूनिफॉर्म. तो जब आधे सडनली द कॉन्वॉय चल पड़ा वहां से, ऑल क्वाइटली, लॉन्ग कॉन्वॉय ब्रिगेड का. तो पता नहीं था, अब हमें कुछ मालूम नहीं कहाँ है. मून था 10वीं का या 9वीं का, 10वें दिन का मून था, तो काफी ब्राइट थी लाइट. सडनली एक डिनर हॉल्ट हुआ कोई 9 बजे के करीब, 9-9:15. तो सब रुके हुए थे. तो वो सब फिर पूरी उसमें लिपटी हुई मिली, खाई. तो जो हमारे एक साथ में मेजर साहब भी थे सिग्नल्स के, वो बड़े, मैंने कहा सर आप खा लो. नहीं आई एम नॉट हंग्री. मैं कहा सर खाते ना क्या. तो मैंने कहा खा रहे हो तो अपनी थोड़ी सी दे दो, तो उनकी भी खा पी. फिर जीप में बैठ गए. Nobody was talking, silently were moving, absolutely silent. At 11 we reached certain point and we were asked to come off. That was the advanced headquarter form up line, FUP they call it, form up point. वहां पे सारे सब फॉर्म अप हो गया, ब्रिगेड हेड बाहर निकले. At dot 11 o'clock the artillery started firing, कोर की आर्टी. तो पूरी होराइजन जो क्षितिज, जितनी क्षितिज पे जितना हम जो कभी पिक्चरों में देखते हैं ना, वो एक्चुअली वहां पे वो शेल्स वर बीइंग फायर्ड जिनकी रेंज 20-22 किलोमीटर थी. तो वो हमारे ऊपर से जाके कहीं गिर रही थी, पर हमारे आगे वो आधे-पौने किलोमीटर पे पड़ रहे थे. तो जब ऊपर से जाते तो उनकी आवाज आती, एंड सो वी टोटली कंफ्यूज. कोई बता नहीं रहा, कोई कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. एंड देन वो करती रही 15 मिनट, बड़ी हैवी शेलिंग हुई, वो सारी horizon was lit up and
Just like we witness in the movies like this.
sometimes movies में, but it was real and it was actually exploding, you know. So हम लोग, I was very excited, देख रहे थे सब. 11:15 पे 15 मिनट ये चला, everything was silent, so everything went reasonably dark. And then the 3 पलटन थी उसमें इस ब्रिगेड के साथ में, 3rd Madras, 4th Madras and 9 Kumaon, and they went on to charge on the defensive position of Pakistan की जो थी. And वो फिर आवाज शुरू हुई सबकी अपनी अपनी जो भी थी, हर हर महादेव और तमिल में कुछ वो शाउट वॉर क्राइज थी. And then चलती रही ये मार चलता रहा, हम लोग सब सुन रहे थे. रात भर ये चला, तो कोई 8 घंटे बाद जो 9 कुमाऊं का वहां से सिग्नल आया, 2 फ्लेयर या 3 फ्लेयर, क्या दे हैव अटेन्ड द टारगेट. देन कोई 2 घंटे बाद 4th Madras का आया, क्या वी हैव अटेन्ड. 3rd Madras का फाइटिंग कैरिड ऑन टिल अर्ली मॉर्निंग एंड दे लॉस्ट 5 officers, nearly 70 men and the CO in that battle. Of course, next early morning we again were put in the jeep and jab reached, this place was Mirage ki. It's a known famous battle of Mirage ki, which we had won on the 5th night, the first night itself. And when we reached there were wounded people, soldiers lying both sides ke, or dead were lying and all that. And that was something you can imagine. The previous day you were sitting in the trench and you had coffee and you were in the officer's mess, and next day morning you wake up in Mirage ki. So that was a famous attack of Mirage ki, which we had totally taken over from Pakistan. And from there we progressed slowly till 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers out of Sialkot. So I was part of that. This is the first incident. I mean, of course, every day was a new experience, because रात में वो घर में थे, वो गांव था. It was a small kasba, महाराज के हाईवे पे. तो रात में they had some LMGs, वो फायर करते रहते. तो सितंबर में गन्ने के खेत जो है ना, वो 3 या 4 फुट का होता है, 4 साढ़े 4 फुट का छोटा छोटा होता है. तो लोगों ने ट्रेंच वगैरह नहीं खोई थी, उसी में लेट जाते थे, वो चटाई वो डाल के, मैट्रेस जो प्लास्टिक की होती थी, रबर की. तो उस पे लेट, अब वो राउंड वो फायर करते, बिल्कुल नीचे तो मार नहीं सकते थे, तो वो फायर करते थे पैरल गांव के खिड़कियों में से. तो वो ऊपर पेड़ों में लग के जाती थी, तो आवाज आती थी. और चौथा राउंड जो है वो ट्रेसर होता है. एवरी 4th राउंड इज अ ट्रेसर. तो यू कैन सी 4th राउंड. सो वो हमें दिखता था, 3 राउंड निकल जाते थे, पर वो ऊपर से जाते थे, खट फट 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 सारा वो, तो वो हिल रहे हैं, तुम नीचे पड़े हुए हो, लेटे हो वहां पे. That was the first night, of course. Then we attacked the second day, the whole village, and they were neutralized. And so that was the first night, opening of 65 war, as far as I go. Thereafter,
literally, how it gives me goosebumps, you know, the moment you are telling the story, the way it's such a, you know, what was the incident was that, and you were the part of that. How great it is. So you guys, that is why, you know, we call you guys the real heroes, because this is not a cinema, and we will not get second chance, right? This is the major reality, because here I know that people say that, okay, army job is there, perks are there. Sometimes I know that this is also practicality, but the risk of life, the job that we do, this is not a job. I think this is a passion. What do you think, sir?
Nobody works for money. Let me tell you, no soldier works for money. Nobody ever joins Forge, Army, Navy, Air Force के मुझे वहाँ पे पैसे मिलेंगे. No, nobody joins Forge के मुझे canteen facility. No, nobody joins Forge that I'll be getting A perk or B perk or whatever. No one. You join Forge because you want to be different, you want to make different, and you definitely want to be part of the security which you want to establish, so the rest of the country can sleep well. And there is no other factor that one has in mind when you join the thing.
So, sir, as far as the time of from Lal Bahadur Shastri to Indira Gandhi, right? And you know,
but एक incident और बता दूं.
Why not? Please, sir.
There are many which were very close. That my own tank fired at us in the jeep mein traveling. My driver died, sitting behind me. I was lucky that I got saved. But those are वॉर में होता रहता है, बिकॉज यू कांट स्टैब्लिश. आजकल तो टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई, पता लग जाता है कौन अपना है कौन दूसरा है. एक अदर इंसिडेंट विच इम्पोर्टेंट एज अ फॉरवर्ड एयर कंट्रोलर, माई ड्यूटी वॉज कि जब हमें अगर एयरक्राफ्ट चाहिए थे अपनी एयरफोर्स टू अटैक देयर पोजीशन, सपोज उनके टैंक आ रहे हैं, तो हम एयरफोर्स को बुलाते थे. उसके 45 मिनट्स में आ जाते थे अगर अवेलेबल है फोर्स, और इम्पोर्टेंट में प्रायोरिटी में आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. तो मैंने ऐसे ही एक और उसके लिए यू हैड टू गो अहेड ऑफ द ट्रूप्स, बिकॉज टारगेट उसको एयरक्राफ्ट को आपको देख के बताना होता था. ओके, नाउ द टारगेट इज अंडर द ट्री, कम ओवर, टर्न राइट, सो एंड सो. सो वी कॉल इट, एक आईपी होता था जहां से वो इनिशियल पॉइंट ऑफ रनिंग, तो वहां तक वो अपने आप आते थे. वहां पे ऊपर आके दे टू कॉन्टेक्ट यू. तो हम लोग के कॉल साइन बड़े अजीब होते थे, मधुबाला, गुलाब, ऐसे करके होते थे. उन्होंने कॉल कोबरा, कोबरा कॉलिंग मधुबाला, तो यस मधुबाला, मधुबाला कोबरा हियर. All right, we are over IP orbiting. I said, target for you is tank movement, which is clustered up amongst the trees. Run in for 1 minute 56 seconds on course so and so. So they ran in. Now I had a GU set. GU set लगाते, और मेरे साथ एक सोल्जर था जो पैक लेके गया था. तो हम लोग करीब अपनी ट्रुप से 201 मीटर आगे थे, बिल्कुल आगे, और वो हमें दिख रहे थे सामने उनके, वो कोई 1 किलोमीटर हमसे आगे होंगे. सो मैंने वो जियो सेट का केबल जो है वो करीब 6 फुट 7 फुट का होता है, तो वो लगा के वो मेरे से 5-6 फुट दूर वो बैठा था, और उसके वो ही वाज नॉट सिटिंग विद द सेट, ही वाज ऑन माय लेफ्ट साइड, सेट वाज ऑन द राइट साइड, हमने रखा हुआ था अलग. सडनली वन ऑफ दिस टैंक मस्ट हैव सीन कि ये ब्लडी कुछ हो रहा है वहां पे. तो एज द एयरक्राफ्ट लेफ्ट द आईपी एंड दे वर अबाउट टू पुल अप फॉर अटैक एंड आई वाज ऑन आरटी विद देम, this guy fired a AP cell armored का. तो वो 20 किलो का होता है, पर वो हार्ड होता है. तो it came, and since the range was probably little far, so it bounced little in front of us about 100 meters, bounced ऐसे skip होके आके फिर लग गया ground में, and when it took the set away, second time it bounced and it took the set away, तो मेरे कान में वो लटका रह गया तार.
Oh my God.
The aircraft, anything. Of course, they could see the tank and they carried out the attack, but I couldn't guide them thereafter. And then me and my Sahak, we crawled back. Brigade commander बाद में वो जनरल बन गए, जनरल वाज करके, that time he was brigade, and he was also my camp commandant in OTU, the final camp of D certificate का जब मैं कर रहा था. So he knew me from army, so that's why first thing when he saw me, he said, "You are in wrong uniform, son." मैं कहा, "No sir, actually I am now Air Force, खाकी में था."
Everything is preordained. Everything is preordained in
And
this
their
life.
memory was very good. Of course, we won many also, and I was a mischievous guy, so I was, every instructor knew कि इसको रोज परेड मिलती, पट्टी परेड मिलती थी मुझे. So this was actually one of the close incident, but as long as God is sitting there, He'll take care of you. Okay.
So there was a girl who was saying, सोनिया पवार, सर डर नहीं लगता था जब आपके सामने ऐसे फाइटर हो? तो I just wanted to say, because we are Indian soldiers, we are absolutely meant for this kind of fighting, right? So डर किस बात का, क्यों सर?
इसे अब मैं क्या नाम बताया आपने उसका बच्चे का? सोनिया अगर सुन रही हो तो ये याद रखना बच्चे कि मैंने जब बता रहा था महाराज की अटैक पे, वो डिफेंस पोजीशन में थे, बंकर्स में घुसे थे. हमारे लोग क्रॉल करके गए और उसके बाद में उन्होंने अटैक करा. अब आप सोचो कि जब वो खड़े होके अटैक कर रहे हैं, उस समय चौथा राउंड उनको दिख रहा है, 3 राउंड नहीं दिख रहे हैं. कोई भी सोल्जर ये नहीं कहता कि मैं अटैक नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि राउंड आ रहे हैं, वहां से फायरिंग हो रही है. दे कैरिड ऑन एंड वी लॉस्ट फ्यू सोल्जर्स इन दैट, बट दे कैप्चर्ड द पोस्ट. सो जब आप वॉर में होते हैं या वॉर की तैयारी में होते हैं या नॉर्मल कोर्स में भी होते हैं, कभी आप जो है डरते नहीं है. डर इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ. डर इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ योर पर्सनालिटी.
Literally, sir, literally. So let us have some kind of glimpses pertaining to the 71 war also. I was
Right.
talking about that. I think General Manik Shaw, right over there, that who was the main, you can say, protagonist, right, of that war, if I'm not wrong. So here in India, Indira Gandhi ji was there, and in Bangladesh, or you can say that Sheikh Hasina was there, right? Am I right, sir?
No, no, Bangladesh. It was that time Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was
Sheikh
there.
Mujibur Rahman was there.
The whole war took place because he was elected,
Right.
and West Bengal में भुट्टो था. I mean, West Pakistan में भुट्टो, and he didn't want him to be the prime minister.
Exactly,
He
right.
more vote.
And
So
then
उन्होंने उसको
Margaret
जेल में
Thatcher
बंद
was
कर दिया.
right.
हाँ,
And
जेल में
Margaret
बंद कर
Thatcher was
दिया.
there in Britain. Right.
And that's why they sent 1 lakh troops to East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and they played hell into them for 8-9 months. They raped, they killed, they did actually very badly. They behaved. That's how, and then they started running to India, and that's how we couldn't afford that many people coming to India, and इसीलिए ये war we had to sort that out, and
Right, sir,
we
right.
went into war with them mainly for that.
But sir, just one thing I would like to ask as a soldier. See, when Pakistan surrendered, right, 93,000 soldiers they surrendered, right. So, what was the reason that we couldn't capture at that time the J&K area or the other part of Pakistan, even if when they surrendered? So, don't you think that was a flaw? Just asking as a soldier.
No. I will not call flaw, because जो लड़ाई कर रहे होते हैं, they all want to achieve the aim. इसमें क्या हो गया था कि जब 93,000 surrendered, because उनका एक तो राशन पानी बंद हो गया था. We had surrounded them from all the sides. That time, our attack in eastern part was amazing. It is, as a military thing, it was one of the most perfect offensive that we had launched. And air actually had, because after जब हम लोगों ने उनके runway demolish कर दिए, bombing करके, उनकी air force बिल्कुल grounded हो गई थी. So now we had free thing to go to attack army anytime, whenever we wanted, whatever way we wanted. So उनपे अच्छा army जो है आमने सामने लड़ सकते हैं, पर ऊपर से आ रहा है उसका कुछ नहीं कर सकता वो.
Exactly.
तो बॉम्ब ऊपर से गिरेगा, वो तो गिरेगा तो सब आपको उड़ा देगा. So that's how they had to surrender, mainly because of that. Then पूरी logistic support from west से east की तरफ जानी बंद हो गई. वो कुछ उनका ना तो armament जा रहे थे, ना ammunition जा रहा था, all these kind of things. So with the result, they had to surrender. Only thing debatable is whether 93,000 we should have brought them to India or let them be in Bangladesh, which had become surrounded, made a fence, put our soldiers in the beginning, then their own soldiers should have taken care of those people, want to feed them, want to kill them.
Absolutely.
But we had to be, for whatever reason, I don't know. If I was there, I would have said कि भैया बांग्लादेशी को दे दो, हम लोग इनकी तब तक सपोर्ट करेंगे जब तक ये अपने आप इनकी देखभाल नहीं कर सकते. और उसके बाद we should have withdrawn and let them take care. उन्होंने उसमें से 50,000 तो मार दिए होते जो वहां पे थे. And अपने आप ही सॉर्ट आउट हो जाता आधा मामला. पर हमने उनको लाया, यहाँ पे खिलाया पिलाया 8-9 महीने. Obviously, feeding 1 lakh people nearly is a lot of money, which was not coming from anywhere. Pakistan was not giving you that. So we had to return them. And the deal which we made, Shimla Pact, जिसमें हमारे POW कोई नहीं आए, उनके सारे वापस कर दिए. और अभी तक हमारे आधे बेचारे माना जाता है कि अभी भी वहाँ जिंदे जो 2-4 बचे हैं, बाकी मर गए हैं वहाँ पे. They have. So I suppose, which is unfortunate, but this is how it is. And 71 war, India really actually handled it very well. Particularly west, east में तो बहुत ही अच्छा हुआ था. And that's why in 13 days to have a result of any war is amazing. You know, I mean, it doesn't happen so easily. And of course, I was lucky. I flew a lot of missions in that. I did bombing of Dhaka runways and various other places. So one was lucky to get a chance like that.
Sir, what a nice bunch of stories that these are that you are telling. Sir, last now we are going to wrap up the session. Last point, but we have discussed Pakistan, then Bangladesh. That 3 cartographic challenge. If we do talk about China, right, and the recent incursions after this COVID-19, right, in 2020, you know very well that how they illegally took up or captured our position. So, sir, what is the way, according to you, is the best strategy to tackle China? I am very confused. Literally, I am not able to decipher.
You see, we have to be very clear. China is a big country. They have Tibet, which they have annexed, or they claim that it is their territory. Factually, we have no border with China. It is with Tibet, which they Tibet के साथ है, पर उन्होंने claim कर दिया. वो कहते हैं हमारा है. चलो ठीक है. हमने मतलब 40,000 square kilometer we have already given during 62 May, Aksai Chinmay and all that area. What they have done, they've been doing this from 60s, say, they had started building roads and all that and runway. So they have 3 major airport which are full-fledged for fighter operation. Now they are very, very well formulated there. They can actually launch offensive very successfully. Only thing we have to protect now that we are aware, because the technology of satellite is giving us everyday movement. It is known to us, and we know exactly what they are doing.
Right.
We have also placed our strategic force. Himalaya is there, so we can't go and attack mainland. We can only attack their airfield, which once again is that once we climb over the hills, we'll be exposed to them. So we have to, the best thing would be that there also when they come, we can intercept them only when they have come onto the, or when they're taking off. Because once they get into valley, it's difficult. Same way when we get into valley and go, we used to do a lot of valley flying there against Chinese border. And you go there, when you pull up, very short time is there. But then ground-based air defense system will take care of those kind of things. The fact is that we are aware that China is a main threat. Pakistan is not.
Obviously.
Pakistan is not even a factor in our things. China is these days, and everything is working towards that. That's why our missile system, which we will need in big way to carry any armament, missiles are growing. We have fairly highly developed missile system, and hopefully it will become world class of a nature 1-2 like America or Russia or China themselves, which we hope. Right. And so Chinese people are now, the people who matter are aware, and Fauj mein it is well known. But my fear, which I told other day, we were having a discussion at a certain forum. I said, we are Pakistan, we take care one way, okay, one border. But China, we are mainly thinking. But I said, my problem is Bangladesh. The day Bangladesh gets hostile, I can't trust. Just imagine 1,460 kilometers and bloody all sides. We have to protect that. And since they have half of their population is already in India, that will become more damaging to us. Then, so we have to start thinking of Bangladesh as a hostile country, not really hostile, but again, we have to create a system, safety system, security system against them if and when they start becoming mischievous.
So literally, you opened our eyes. Means we are not even paying any heed as far as Bangladesh is concerned, And definitely, if at all it happens, as you are saying, don't you think that will be a catastrophe?
Of course, it will be, because China is tying up with them. They have the sea route available to them, all kind of thing. So my fear is that, and which I've expressed, and I think there is a thinking on that also, that whilst we are very friendly with Bangladesh, we have to take care and keep system in place where if there is something happens, we can take care of them.
So, sir, now just I want to wrap up the session. There are some students who are saying, sir, we want to serve Air Force officer. मैं एक Air Force pilot बनना चाहता हूँ. Please guide me. Now, within just 2 minutes, just wrap up the session with your lovely words. क्या आप लोग इन बच्चों को मैसेज देना चाहते हैं? I am a teacher of English language. I teach English language. I try my level best to make their exam clear. Now, after that, their own confidence, their knowledge, their innocence, their honesty, their veracity, that is reflected in the SSB part, right, sir? So, क्या वो बात है जो इन बच्चों को हम ये बोलें कि बेटा ये काम आप करो, and definitely जब कोई भी ड्रीम जो है वो इम्पॉसिबल तो होता नहीं है, उसके लिए मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. सक्सेस डज नॉट कम टू यू, यू गो टू इट. तो क्या वो सर बातें हैं? एक बार जरा बच्चों को प्लीज लास्ट में मैं चाहूंगा कि 2 शब्द आप इनके बारे में बोले.
जरूर. बिफोर मैं 1-2 चीज रैप अप करने से पहले बताऊंगा, दे मस्ट नो हु आई एम एंड अबाउट मी later. Sure. And 1-2 thing which I think one was able to do, like during 71 war when we had bombed their runway, उनकी एयरफोर्स बिल्कुल ग्राउंडेड हो गई थी। तो एक दिन हम लोग ऑफेंसिव मिशन पे गए टू सी कि अगर उनके कोई एक आध जहाज है तो आए तो उनसे कॉम्बैट करके उनको वी कैन फाइट देम आउट।
Oh
कुछ
my
नहीं हुआ।
God.
तो मैंने कहा कि भाई 2 जहाज थे हम। तो आई टोल्ड माय नंबर 2, आई वाज लीडर, आई सेड ओके आई एम गोइंग फॉर अ लूप। सो आई डिड लूप ओवर ढाका maneuver during war, and which was, of course, I have not spoken of it for 55 years. I talked of it only 2 years back, and I don't think that many people in the world during war have done that. Anyways, so one of the Pakistani pilot who was there at Dhaka that time, he was there and he wrote an article in 2013 or so, and in which he mentioned that when we were sitting and crying and cribbing कि क्या हो रहा है, हम लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं as a pilot, as a soldier, as a fighter, and here this हिंदुस्तानी guy come और आके यहाँ पे लूप कर रहा है, हमें में और आग लगा रहा है जले में, you know. तो I didn't know, मैंने कहा इतना वो जो मैं तो मस्ती के लिए कर रहा था पर उसका इतना मोरल पे इफेक्ट होता है, one had not realized. Anyway, this is lighter vein, and now I would just talk of about the interviews, or what I feel that, of course, they all know that to go to the services, there are channels are now open for girls also. NDA से शुरू हो जाती है, NDA है, NCC है, FCAT है, CDS है. So you can follow any of these routes to go there. But what I want to tell, first thing, be natural. Single factor for SSB is be natural. That means what you are, show what you are. Because moment you try and learn stories for psychological test, you have done, you are gone. Because वहाँ पे immediately they'll make out कि ये इसका नहीं है, because some other picture comes, you talk something. Everyone writes certain stories which is similar lines. So everyone knows कि ये इनका अपना नहीं है. तो इसीलिए मैं हमेशा बच्चों से कहता हूँ मैं कि जब आप करो इसकी तैयारी में, कोई भी चीज दिख जाए आपको, टीवी दिख गई, write 2 lines on TV. Then you will realize it doesn't have to be, oh, I bought TV to see so that I can see how soldiers fight. No, there is no requirement. You have bought TV to entertain yourself so that तुम्हारी fatigue खत्म होके relax हो जाओ. That is what I want to know. So be natural. Don't give answers which are framed up. Response instant, whatever it is, and I think that will get you in a better marks and reflect your personality in a more truer way than otherwise. Okay, so, and confidence, don't keep getting worried all the time. First thing it worries starts, अरे यार SSB कैसे करूंगा. Don't think, जब खेलने जाते हो हॉकी हाथ में कोई देता है तो you don't think कैसे करूंगा. वो उसके बाद में you just wait, बॉल आई लेके चलते चल गए आगे तो अच्छा, दूसरे ने छीन ली तो छीन ली, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. तो you don't start thinking of SSB as a bogey and psych yourself. इतना अपने पे प्रेशर डाल दो कि जब वहां पे जाते हो तो you are not behaving normally as you should. So please do that. Single factor आप करोगे, and of course you should be able to speak fluently, whether हिंदी इंग्लिश जो भी करना है. और उसके लिए एक ही सीधा रास्ता होता है क्या, न्यूज़पेपर लो, कोने में खड़े होके पढ़ो, कोई स्टोरी की किताब पढ़ो, जोर-जोर से पढ़ो, and you start reading it in 15 days time, you'll be able to pronounce things, you'll be able to read well. Okay. Now I just briefly tell you about बच्चास that actually ना तो मुझे किसी ने बताया था कि तुम्हें आर्मी ज्वाइन करनी है, एयरफोर्स ज्वाइन करनी है. पिताजी आर्मी में थे, चाचा जी पुलिस में थे, दूसरे चाचा जी टीचिंग में थे. तो किसी ने कभी नहीं कहा कि तुम इसकी तैयारी करो. Everything in our time we did by ourselves. वो अपने आप 33 रुपए का लगता था हमारा उन दिनों. फॉर्म जो है रिटन एग्जाम का, पास होने पे 30 रुपए वापस आ जाते थे मनी ऑर्डर से. तो जो मैंने अपियर करा ये एग्जाम एयरफोर्स का, उसमें से 30 रुपए वापस आ गए, 3 रुपए का मेरा खर्चा उसमें हुआ था. Anyway, but the point is that starting from that background, that I did not know even what are the aircraft flying in the Air Force, because in SSB they asked me, presiding officer, so tell me. I said, sir, I'm sorry, but I really am not aware. What do you mean? You want to join Air Force? You have no clue? I said, no, sir. Basically, it'll take me half an hour to learn what aircraft they're flying. So I am not really worried about what aircraft are flying or what is the Air Force. It's not going to be more than half an hour. So he said, that means you also don't read the newspaper. I said, no, sir, I read, but I read only sports page. Sports page? Why? Okay, sir, because I play sports. Sports? Which one? So then I told him hockey, UP khela, Agra University in क्या कहते हैं बैडमिंटन इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी बैडमिंटन देश जूनियर चैंपियन फॉर नेशनल जूनियर चैंपियन हर्डलर एथलेटिक्स तो वो होल कॉन्वर्सेशन ड्रिफ्टेड डिफरेंटली बट वन रियलाइज कि एक्चुअली माय थिंग इज कि डोंट गेट अगर कुछ नहीं पता तो से आई डोंट नो that is the main thing. Okay, so starting from that background, you can imagine that I became a flight cadet. I finally passed out, and after that, I have actually flown all my life. I have flown all the aircraft which were there while I was serving, except Su-30 and apna ye sab, all the aircraft which have come now, Rafale and LCA. All the aircraft I am operational, and MiG-21 I have flown for 28.5 years, 68 से लेके 96 December तक I have flown, and obviously I landed up trying to train the people who came to me on unit just to see that they train well, they train the fastest in the country, so that they feel that I am better than the other guy, his course mate or his batchmate. And doing that, you were flying so much that I landed up actually having logged more flying than anybody else in the world on MiG-21. That was not done to log flying. It was done to train the younger pilots. And there, what I am more proud of is not that I have highest flying on MiG-21 in the world, but that I have trained the largest number of fully operational fighter pilot in the world.
Sir, thanks a lot. Literally.
In 2 years, I had trained more pilots than the twice as many as the other instructors. So, so it is your. So you be passionate, be honest, be dedicated in whatever you do. And suppose you don't make the forge. I'm just my sincere advice to all the young people who are part of listening of this program, that if you can't make the forge, no problem at all. Everybody contribute to the national cause. Everybody, including a conductor in the bus, when he helps you sit down, he comes and smiles at you. He wakes you up to wake up and get off at your destination. I think is doing as good a job in national cause as other person who's securing the border of this country. So that's more important. Number two, whole idea of forge, why we like forges, because we feel that they are different than the normal society. Why they are different? Because they are more honest, they are more affectionate, they are more loving, they are more participation. They participate. If they'll see two people fighting, all the other guys will walk away, but a Fauji will never walk past. He'll always go. He may get his head broken in the bargain, but he will definitely try and say, yaar, lado nahi, ki zarurat nahi hai iski, kyun kar rahe ho, kyun lad rahe ho? Or anybody misbehaving with a lady or something, a Fauji can never see that and walk past. He'll always go, and that is being a good human. So please be a good Fauji outside, maybe out of uniform, but be with all those qualities. And happiness is not how much you laugh and smile. Happiness is when others, when they come to you, they see you and they start smiling. That is happiness. And please try and attain that. You will be always happy in life. I wish you all the very best. My number would be there anytime anyone particularly want to ask. You can ask the question. I don't regularly speak these days because I'm really tied up, and of course I'll be turning 80 this year in December. So,
but you are 80 years young. You are not old.
Yes,
right?
I always say, I thank God for that, and thank everyone around me, because they actually make me feel so happy. And it is that the people I interact, people I meet, they all actually feeling so much positive energy in me that I always am happy. I've never felt that, oh, अब क्या होगा, अब क्या करूँगा. आज तक नहीं हुआ है, और भगवान से यही आशा है कि वो हमेशा ऐसे ही रखेंगे. So thank you very much. It was great talking to all of you.
Literally, sir, it is a satiating thing, sir, that you have given us, and I literally want to come to meet you personally. right? I hope you will allow me this thing.
Anytime.
And,
Number is there. Come and
thank you.
stay at home. घर है यहाँ पे. कभी भी
Thank
आओ,
you.
कभी भी आ
Thank
जाना.
you, sir.
Not
Jai Hind,
any-
sir. Jai Hind. Thank
Okay.
you.
Jai Hind. Okay.